Hello fellow Star Wars fans, my name is Starrapter. Welcome back to the channel. It's time to talk about some Star Wars comics that came out for the week of January 15th. We had just a single issue coming to us from the mighty House of Marvel, and that is the Battle of Jakku, Last Stand, issue number 3, Tipping Point. We have now entered the actual Battle of Jakku. This 12-issue miniseries has been building to this moment for a long time. This is the penultimate issue. It's written by Alex Segura with artwork by Leonard Kirk. But first, before we get into the details of this issue, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to this channel if you have not already, because I keep you guys up to speed when it comes to the finer and the greater details of these Star Wars stories on a weekly basis. So this is the issue I've been waiting for. This is where it really hits its full stride, bringing in all different layers of canon, great little mentions, all in this huge battle over Jakku, both in space and a little bit on ground. So we open up, we have Ackbar. He mentions that they got the Senate approval to begin the attack with their fleet. So we have classic Admiral Ackbar on the Home One bridge, just, delegating orders to his different wingmen and different things like that. And then you also have Consular Gallius Rax, who is the head honcho in charge of all the holdouts of the imperials here. He was one that had the grand plan from the emperor himself back when he was a kid on Jakku. This is the contingency plan. And the rebels, or the New Republic, have been lured into a trap. But you get to hear actually the speech given by this guy. I mean, it's really, really interesting. I'm sure this is probably directly pulled from Aftermath Empire's End by Chuck Wendig. You can correct me on that if I'm wrong. But I will say it's a pretty compelling speech, but it also shows you the evil of this guy and about how he's just pinning it on the Republic as being rebels and just, they're upstarts and they don't deserve to be there. He's very delusional, I will say that. We get a little bit on Ray Sloan, how she did find out what Rax was ultimately up to and sacrificed himself. I know there's been a lot of people on the internet saying there's a lot of discrepancies, and it's a little bit controversial with the details of the overall Aftermath trilogy lining up with the story. And I think by the end of this story, we'll see that things line up very well. But yeah, as far as this actual battle, we get Luke Skywalker also going off on his own mission while this is all happening with Rin. He has Alacia, who is the right-hand lieutenant of Adelhard, who she, was basically the spy, gave them the information, and she's working for Cranor. We find out that there's this big moment when Rin admits that she was a spice runner, and that's why she was able to get Cranor on their side. And then they go and they meet up with Tommaso, who is an underling of Zeva Bliss, the leader of the spice runners of Kijimi. They exchange information about what exactly is happening, and it's alluded to that yes, Zeva Bliss has connections. She has adversaries of Adelhard at her beck and call to basically take this guy out, because Adelhard's ultimate plan, which we see in full effect here in the actual Battle of Jakku, is he's going to just try to take out both the New Republic as well as the Empire, the Remnant Empire led by Gallius Rax. So he's coming in at the right time to just get these guys when they're weak. But it doesn't quite work out as well as he would expect, because there is an element that he did not expect, and that is Lad Makaravana, who comes in with her Super Star Destroyer right at the end of this to dwarf his little Star Destroyer. And if that name doesn't ring a bell, maybe to some of you it does, and that is a character from the Aftermath trilogy of books. In an interlude, it's this pirate that just takes over a Super Star Destroyer in the aftermath of the destruction of the Death Star. And a lot of us have been wondering, like, where is that coming into effect with this overall story with Star Wars? We haven't heard of her since, so it's really great that Alex Segura ends up pulling her back in. Going over the finer details of things I really liked about this issue is its cinematic feel, cinematic flow. You could turn on the Battle of Endor or the Return of the Jedi soundtrack, and just really blast this thing as you're reading through, because we have excellent moments, such as when Lando Calrissian comes in on his Lady Luck ship, flanked by none other than Jarek Yeager of Star Wars Resistance. It's just epic, absolutely awesome. We get to see people crash into the ground and almost getting crushed by walkers, AT-ATs. We're seeing mentions of Wedge Antilles and his Phantom Squad. We're seeing mentions of Blade Squadron from Star Wars Insider magazine. We're seeing mentions even of Fing Squadron. I'm not even sure if we knew that Fing Squadron was ever there. I mean, Hera and Zeb and the others are going around helping each other out. It just felt really epic and grand with these space scenes. Leonard Kirk killing it with the artwork here because it really just pulls you in. This feels so authentic to the Battle of Jakku in another medium, right? We've seen this so many times, whether it be Battlefront 2 or Aftermath or even Alphabet Squadron never got there, I guess. But all in all, this is really just leading up to an excellent finale. There's teasers of a legendary character first appearance in comics that's going to be showing up in the final issue. Um, Maybe now that I think about it, maybe it's the birth of Ben Solo. It might end up being just that. The birth of Ben Solo could be this big comic thing, but I would like to see a greater threat. We know that there's going to be, well, we don't know, but we're making conjectures and speculation that there might be an ongoing by Alex Segura after this, which maybe follows Luke Skywalker for to look at the evidence of the Free Comic Book Day. It has stories with Rise of Kylo Ren as well as Jedi Knights, and there's a Luke Skywalker story, but that doesn't have an ongoing yet, so that's where we're getting that. But all in all, really great stuff here. Felt the breath, felt the intensity of this battle. The enormity of it, the importance of it was really hit home very well by Alex and the team. So what'd you think about this? Let me know in the comment section down below for more on Star Wars comics and more. If you're already in the right place, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel for your latest on Star Wars. That's good to do for me, Starrapter. Thank you so much for watching, and may the Force be with you always.